Welcome, this is your 5-minute geography lesson. We're covering theme 5, element 15, human uses of ecosystems. Has anyone seen my board pen? I'm Mr. S and I'll be your 5-minute teacher. Our final lesson in the Weather, Climate and Ecosystems unit is looking at a specific human use of an ecosystem, and we're going to be looking briefly at an offshore wind farm in Wales. So there are lots of different ways that people use ecosystems. So in the UK, much of our temperate deciduous forests have actually been cut down to make way for farming and for the expansion of cities. But equally, in places like Northern Africa, there has been a lot of the reduction in the amount of available water in lakes because of increased demands for fresh water due to increasing populations. Or in places like the Arctic, in Alaska, the exploitation of oil has affected that ecosystem. So what are we doing in an ecosystem near us? Well, we're going to have a look at the Gwent Itmore offshore wind farm. So offshore wind farms are wind turbines that are placed out at sea, and they're placed there for a couple of reasons. Generally, the winds are stronger out at sea. They're unobstructed from hills or from cities, which means that they're going to get a more consistent energy production, but also that they don't impose on the people and the cities of the area. Often people are resistant to having wind farms near them because they detract from the natural beauty of the area. So the Gwent Itmore wind farm is located around 15 kilometres off the north coast of Wales. And there is a big debate about whether or not we should be using our natural environment for these reasons. We do need to find alternatives for the non-renewables that we're using, such as oil, coal and gas, which currently fuel our country. So is placing large wind farms in the ocean the right thing to do? Well, let's have a look at the advantages and the disadvantages of this to start with. So the advantages of the Gwent Itmore wind farm have been that it's going to produce, or does produce, 400,000 homes worth of power. So that's 400,000 homes that don't have to rely on a non-renewable energy for its electricity. It's creating 100 or more jobs in the local economy. So that's in the production and the construction of the wind farm. It's in the running and the maintenance of that wind farm as well. And it's also helping with the global climate change effort, or it's one small step in that effort as well. The Gwent Itmore wind farm is actually the second largest wind farm in the world. But there are disadvantages. So the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds says it's affecting the bird migration and the usual patterns that they've seen in recent years. The National Trust has considerable concerns over how it's going to affect the heritage and the tourism that comes into Northern Wales. Now, the wind farm is 15 kilometres out, but you can still see it from the coast. So it's a discussion about whether or not it's going to affect the tourism of the area. And the locals are opposed to it because it's going to spoil, or does spoil, the natural beauty of the area. So, as usual, the advantages tend to benefit mankind and the disadvantages tend to impact the ecosystem. But, as I've just discussed, it is a debate that people have to have because we are relying a lot on fossil fuels, the non-renewable fuels, which are polluting our environment. So, do the disadvantages of the wind farm outweigh the disadvantages of the fossil fuels? So if we didn't build these wind farms, would the reliance on fossil fuels create less or more disadvantages? And people would probably argue that fossil fuels are going to produce more of an impact on our ecosystems than the wind farms are. So this is the debate that is going on right the way across the world at the minute. Well, that completes our look at Theme 5. Make use of the resources available to you for revision by completing the Try It Now tasks. Class dismissed.